Good morning, guys. Saturday again. Getting ready to go cut some water stove wood. And what I mean by water stove wood, it's going to be a lot longer, bigger round than what I typically cut for just a fireplace or something. So the first thing I got to do, because I don't really have any logs down here at the mill, at the firewood processor, I got to move some logs, and they're going to be green logs because this wood is going to be stacked outside and seasoned for a year or two before it's used. So I'm going to use green logs, and I got to move some of them down to the wood processor. So in order to do that, I'm going to get the rubber tired loader going this morning with the log forks on it. All right, here we are at the rubber tired loader. This is what I was talking about, log forks. It's got the big grapple on it. This thing will move a big pile of logs at once. And we keep the logs up here in the back when I don't have enough room down at the wood processor. I'll stack all the dryest down there most of the time on the racks I have down there, and then I keep, when I buy green logs, I'll bring them up here and store them until I need them. Well, I've used all the ones down there, and I've almost used all the ones up here, but I use this loader to move them down there when I need them instead of reloading them on a trailer or something. And if you've seen that and was wondering what it is, it's actually a high lift dump bucket that Dad bought a couple months ago. And what it does is you put it on a loader, you hook these hoses up, and you can just raise the loader straight up and over top of a dump trailer, and then you use the auxiliary hydraulics to tilt this part over to dump instead of curling the bucket to dump, because that takes away height. You actually you leave the bucket level, or actually tilt it back some, and then you use it's got a cylinder in here that raises the bucket up to tilt and dump the material out, and it's for loading really high trailers like a walking floor trailer, something like that has really tall sides on it. And my dad handles a lot of mulch, so he can grind it into a pile, and then when he sells a tractor trailer load of it, he can reload it with that bucket without having to have like a loading dock or a ramp or something. All right, let's get the loader fired up. All right, so I've got it heating right now, and we're getting ready to give it a try and see if it'll fire. That's the brake pressure warning light that was beeping at me. It takes us a few seconds for the brake pressure to come up on this loader. Well, we've got two of these loaders, and both of them do the same thing. As a matter of fact, the newer one beeps longer, and the newer one doesn't crank near as well for some reason. Never has. This one's got 9,500 hours on it, and it cranks right up. The other one's got about 3,000 or 4,000 hours on it, and it has a hard time cranking. It's kind of strange. All right, let's go move a log or two. Let this thing warm up a minute. Basically all that's left of my poor firewood pile. to buy some more, but the guy that I buy it off of isn't ready for me to buy some more yet. As you can see, I've got a pretty good wad of wood in this little grapple here. Probably about 3 times as much or 4 times as much as I can carry with my T5. Sometimes when I just want to run my T5, I'll carry some down with it, just playing with it. But most of the time when I want to get something done, like I do today, I use this loader to get it down there. The throttle cable on this loader is stuck. I don't even have my foot on the throttle right now. I can let off of it and it just stays where you put it. I gotta stick my foot up under the pedal, pull it back up to get it to idle down. So we're gonna have to put a cable on this thing very soon. Like this, I'm not going to have any firewood, any logs left to cut this year. I'm just going to run completely out. Even even this green wood, I thought I was going to leave it till next year, but where these people are buying wood to stockpile for the next year or two, I'm using it up too. Buy a whole lot of logs to replace all these. I've been saving the money to do it as I cut it, so I'll just be glad when I can actually buy some. The earlier I can buy them, the better. That way they have time to be seasoning. One of our 963B loaders there to the right. We just put some new bucket teeth on it, new shanks. That's something we don't use a whole lot anymore. We don't use a track loader very much anymore, except we use them for clearing right much. They work good for clearing, piling, pushing trees around. They don't work that great for piling brush because you get so much dirt, but they work great for moving it around, pushing it where you're going to pile it, starting to pile, but then we'll normally take an excavator and work the dirt out of it, pile it up so we can burn it or grind it. We do a lot of grinding. We grind a lot of trees into our own mulch. That cable stuck's like driving it on cruise control that you can't turn off. Alright, so I know I keep talking about grinding and grinding and grinding brush and grinding mulch and grinding stuff. Here is our grinder. It ain't very pretty, but it's a Bandit model 3680, and it's got a 600 horsepower Caterpillar engine on it. It's what they call a horizontal grinder, and you can grind trees up to about 36 inch with it, and it'll just eat it right up. It's pretty impressive. And we grind mulch with it, and we grind trees into mulch also. But there it is. I just wanted y'all to see it someday. Well, I actually have a video already way back in my channel. If you go to my channel and scroll all the way down close to the bottom of the page where all my videos are, there is a video of this machine grinding. It's a short video. I didn't talk about anything, or that was before I made that video, before I started narrating. We'll put it that way. Anyway, there is a video of this thing working there. I'm loading it with a 138, and it grinds a little bit of brush, and it's loading it onto a dump trailer, I believe. And that was back when we were building, we were helping to build this bypass road over here. Well, it's actually 58, Super 58, the 4-lane road that took the place of the 2-lane road that used to go through here. We were involved in that some, so yeah, that's what I was doing in that video. And that was a good while back. That was probably 2 years ago. Anyway, you can go check that machine out in action right there for just, I think that video is just 2 or 3 minutes long. But I will take some more video of that machine when it's running someday. I know we got some more grinding to do. We got to go to Martinsville with it at some point here and do some grinding. Right here we have the famous box blade, the famous big box blade, I should call it. And the reason I'm saying that is because I made one video of that thing right there, blading the driveway, and I don't know what happened, but YouTube picked that video up or something, and as of right now, it's almost got 500,000 views on it, which is astronomical for my channel, because most of my videos get anywhere between 5,000 to 15,000 views on, you know, just depending on what it is and what it's about. But for some strange reason, that video just blew out of the water, and I don't know why, but I'm glad it did, but I don't know why it did. I wish I could do that every time, but it's not possible. Anyway, that's why I call it the famous box blade now, because apparently everybody likes it. Well, I don't know that everybody likes it. There was several dislikes, but there was a whole lot more likes on that video. But anyway, that's just the way it is when you got something like that where everybody looks at it. There's just a lot of people out there that don't understand what I'm doing, and got there by suggested videos or something, and it's just not their cup of tea, so they're going to dislike it, which I don't ever dislike a video unless it does something to piss me off, and that's been very, very few videos I've ever watched. If I watch something I'm not interested in, it doesn't mean I dislike the video, just I don't dislike it, put a thumbs down, I just back out of it and go on to something else. So anyway, that's just the way I work, but a lot of people dislike it over anything. I don't know. All right, now we're back down here, and we're gonna start cutting some wood. I gotta rearrange a few things. I need to find a skid steer roller. Let's take a look at this situation here. All right, got old green truck. He's still got the dump insert on him. Got Bobcat over here. He's ready to load some wood on the rack. I got a bunch of sawdust and crap here that I'm gonna have to get rid of pretty soon. I'm gonna have to take the skid steer and But I'm about overrun here under my conveyor. I need to take the skid steer and just move it over here, and I'll haul all that off later. I've cut a little bit of wood. I got maybe a little load, or a little bit more, or a little more than a load there, in case I need to for an emergency load or emergency run. Somebody's run out or needs something real quick. But this water stove wood, I'm going to cut it straight on the truck because I don't want this big wood mixed in with this small wood. So what I'm going to do is push this wood out of the way, push it in the back of the bin, and I'm going to back the truck under it. And you're probably wondering why I don't have this bin right here full of wood. It's because I just flat don't have time to cut that much wood. I wish I did. I need an employee to sit here and cut wood all the time. The only time I have time to cut is after 7 o'clock in the evening or on Saturdays, and most of the time on Saturdays I sell everything I cut as fast as I cut it, like I have today. I got to cut 4 loads today, and it's already, what time is it? It's already 10:13, and ain't no way I'm gonna get all 4 of them loads cut today the way things are going so far. So unless I work really late this evening, and I don't really want to do that. So let's go find a skid steer loader or something to push that wood out of the way. Okay, we got 2 to choose from. We got the little cat with the tracks, and we got the little New Holland with tires. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, we'll take this one. I tell you, it's just hard to beat these old New Holland skid steers right here. They're just good machines. And even the ones that were before those were probably even better than them. Now though, I don't know if we'll have, it'd take a whole lot of persuasion for us to buy one of the newer ones. I have run one and it was all right, but there's several things that we don't like about them. Like visibility through the door, windshield wiper replacement, stuff like that, you can't really see very good down to the bucket. Like, you can see to one side of the bucket, but the other side they've got this seam and you can't see very good. Anyway, that don't matter. That's why we got the John Deere, I guess, the 333E instead. All right, let's get the wood processor started and let it be warming up, because it takes a little while to get the hydraulics warm. Get the truck backed under there, get going. Well, old green still runs. Yeah, I'll tell you something interesting that happened to this thing the other day. I had this one load I had to deliver, and they were out of wood and they need it right now, so that ain't no problem. So I get in this truck, crank it up to back it under here just like I just did, and I turned the steering wheel and started backing up, and the truck sitting there, and I backed straight down there. I thought, well, what in the world? So I pulled back up here and I put it in reverse, and I got the steering wheel turned all the way to the right. I back up and it goes back straight down through there, and I thought, now what in the heck is going on? So I tried to turn the steering wheel the other way, nothing happened. So I was turning the steering wheel, I'm like, something don't feel right. So I get out of the truck and I go look right here. This thing right here was rusted in two and broken. And this is the drag link that goes from the pitman arm to the hub assembly right here and steers the whole truck. So this thing fortunately broke while I was right here in the yard. If I'd been going down the road and that thing had broke, there ain't no telling what would have happened, because I wouldn't have had any steering at all, and the wheels could have just done whatever they wanted to. So just thank the Lord that it didn't happen while I was going down the road. And anyway, that's just one of them things, I guess. But I don't know, maybe I should be looking at the steering before I get into any vehicle I drive, but it's not a normal thing that I do, is check the steering before I go down the road. But anyway, just glad it did not happen while I was on the road. Thank goodness. All right, clean some of this sawdust up while we're waiting on it to warm up. So I think what I'm going to do is end this video here, because this is probably already getting pretty long. But I'm going to go ahead and start cutting wood, and I'm going to continue filming. So in the next video, I had a few people complaining that I didn't show any of the splitter doing anything, and I didn't. I thought I'd got some of that footage, but I didn't get any footage of the splitter actually splitting the wood. So I'm going to get some of that today, and we're going to load this truck up with some 24-inch wood and take it to the customer. And that's what you'll be seeing in the next video. So we'll talk to y'all later.